So we are continuing with the piezoelectric transducer. So piezoelectric transducer is a kind of electrostatic transducer which is utilized for the conversion of mechanical force or pressure into a other kind of alternating electrical energy. So piezoelectric transducer is used to conversion of mechanical force or pressure into the electrical energy. So this transducer can be able to measure other physical quantities such as pressure, stress, force, as these quantities are not able to calculate in a direct approach. So first one is quartz. It's a natural kind of piezoelectric crystal. Then ammonium dehydration, lithium sulfate, rochelle salt, phosphates come as an example of man-made crystal. Then ceramic material is also employed as a type of piezoelectric transducer. Then for the piezoelectric material, the polarity of the charge is based on which direction the pressure is applied to the charge is represented. Means what? Charge C is equal to D into F in coulombs, where D is nothing but your correspondence to the material charge sensitivity and F is your applied force. So yes, this is your piezoelectric transducer. Here the crystal is there, this in on base. Then this is your output voltage. These are the summing members, and here we can apply the pressure port. Okay. So in piezoelectric transducer, a piezoelectric material like quartz crystal is used as a sensing element. So crystal is nothing but our sensing element. When the force or pressure is applied to the piezoelectric transducer, a charge generates on the surface of the crystal. Okay, so when we apply the pressure or force, that time the charge generated on a crystal surface. So this charge appears as a potential difference across the electrodes. So the charge so generated is very small in magnitude, therefore it has to amplify with the help of amplifier. Okay, so whatever the charge is generated because of the applied pressure and force, so this is too small in value. So for this we use amplifier to amplify to get the sufficient output. The output instrument is calibrated in terms of input measuring quantity. Now how it works? So if you apply the, just now we said that if you apply the force or pressure, so there will be no output voltage. Therefore input measuring quantity should always be dynamic. The magnitude of the output voltage is directly proportional to the whatever force or pressure we applied. The polarity of generated voltage depend upon the direction of applied force. Therefore the polarity of generated voltage for tensile force and compressive force will be opposite in polarity to the on the same piece of piezoelectric material. Then what are the advantages of piezoelectric transducer? So piezoelectric crystal transducer have high frequency response. Then they are very rugged. Then they have a high transient response. Then what are the disadvantages? The output obtained from the piezoelectric transducer is very low. So as we just see that because of the very low output we use amplifier. Then temperature and humidity may affect the output in some cases. The next is they have high impedance. Next is they cannot measure static pressure or force. If static pressure or force is applied to a piezoelectric transducer, the output will be zero. Then now applications of piezoelectric transducer. So they are very useful for dynamic measurement. They are very useful to study a high-speed phenomenon like explosions and blast. Then also it will be used in stress, force and pressure measurement. So next is photodiode. So as the name indicates, photodiodes means what? It is a form of light sensor that converts the light into the electrical energy. Electrical energy in the form of voltage or current. So photodiode is a type of semiconducting device with PN junction. Okay, the photodiode aspects light, accept light energy as the input and generate the electric current. It is also called photodetector, photosensor or light detector. Photodiode operates in a reverse bias condition. The P side of the photodiode is connected to the negative and N side is connected to the positive. It means what? It will operate in reverse bias condition. The typical photodiode material are silicon, germanium, indium, gallium, arsenide, phosphide, and indium gallium arsenide. So these are the materials which used for construction of photodiode. Then this is the symbol of photodiode. As lights falling on the surface, that's why the arrows are indicating inner side. The symbol of the photodiode is similar that of the LED. Okay, just the difference is that in LED the arrow is outward. Okay, because it's emit the light, and photodiode light will fall on the surface. That's why arrow is inward. Then this is the circuit diagram of photodiode. Here we are using LED, IR LED, and this is nothing but our photodiode. Okay, R1, R2 resistor is there. Then this is our. Then generally, when light is made up of luminate and the p-n junction covalent bond are ionized, this generates hole and electron pairs. Photocurrents are produced due to the generation of electron holes pair. Okay, so when light falls on it, normally what happen? Electron holes move. So because of the movement, there are pairs of electrons and holes. So the pairs are formed. So when the photon enters in the depletion region of diode, it heats the atom with high energy. So this results in a release of electron from atom structure. So this is nothing but a circuit diagram of photodiode. So now how it works? An electron will have negative charge and holes will have positive charge. Okay. The depletion energy will have built-in electric field. Due to that electric field, electron hole pairs move away from the junction. Hence the holes move to anode and electron move to the cathode to produce the current. Okay. So next what happened? The photon absorption intensity and photon energy are directly proportional to each other. So when energy of photon is less, the absorption will be more. This entire process is known as the inner photoelectric effect. Intrinsic excitation and extrinsic excitations are two methods via which the photon excitation will happen. Okay, so there are two methods of photon excitation. First is intrinsic excitation and extrinsic excitation. The process of intrinsic excitation happens when an electron in a valence band is excited by a photon conductor band. So this is how the photodiode will work, and photodiode is used out. If you see the application of photodiode, then it will be used in various application in day-to-day life. For the reason it have the linear response to a light illumination. Okay, so it help to provide an electric isolation with the help of optocouplers. Then it is used in safety electronic like fire and smoke detectors. Then it also used in TV units, in cameras we use as a photo sensor. Okay, then in number of medical application like for example to analyze samples, detector for computed tomography, and also used in a blood gas monitors. So these are some application of the photodiodes. Then what are the advantages of photodiode? Better frequency response. Then just now we see that it has a linear response. It's depend on your light intensity. Then less noisy. It can be used as a variable resistant device. It is highly sensitive to the light. The speed of the operation is very high. The switching of current and hence resistance value from high to low or otherwise it's very quick. So these are the advantages of photodiode. Then what are the disadvantages? It has small active area. Then rapid increase in dark current and dependence on the temperature. It required amplification at low illumination level. Then photodiode characteristics are temperature dependent and have poor temperature stability. Then current or changing current is in small and hence may not be sufficient to drive the circuit. So these are some disadvantages of photodiode. Okay, small active area, rapid increase in dark current. Then it required amplification